Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days, and we really are in very odd days when it comes to online copyright and where it is enforced around the world, or in some cases where it's not so much enforced. I guess in this particular case, where it's going to be supremely enforced if it is allowed to go through. And by that, I'm talking about Article 13 in the EU Copyright Directive, as well as YouTube's response to it. But before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that like. You guys have been helping me out, getting a lot more likes on the videos, and I really appreciate it. So thank you from me to you on that one. So let's take a look here. YouTube CEO says the EU Copyright Directive means that only large corporations will be able to upload videos. And this has been a fear for a while now. This has been a fear coming out of this directive with Articles 11 and Article 13 and how it may potentially have an impact on the EU, and then from that, possibly even other countries. Here in the United States, people are legitimately freaked out by what this could possibly mean. And I don't know what it means. I don't know what it's going to entail. I don't know anything. But all I do know is that I don't like this one damn bit. And even though I'm usually critical of Susan Wojcicki, I'm on her side on this one because I'd rather there be no Article 13 than not. And if I have to side with the person of whom I think is very incompetent in their job, then yeah, I'm going to. It says here that YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki's annual letter to creatives takes a strong position on Article 13 of the EU Copyright Directive, which forces companies offering public communication platforms to maintain crowdsourced databases of copyrighted works that users are blocked from uploading. Article 13's final form is being hashed out now. You should write to your MEP about it, because it's not just YouTube that would no longer be able to accept your creative work for publication under this new system. It's all online platforms. And copyright has been a big problem. But the thing is, copyright infringement in let's say the US and the UK and in other like first world nations is nowhere near as rampant as it is in non-first world nations, right? Like when you want to talk about piracy, go to countries where, you know, low income, right? Highly impoverished countries, and piracy is going to be a big thing. Even China, right, is renowned for how much piracy exists in China. Nintendo released a console over there that was specifically for China and that couldn't be hacked, because they know that people reverse engineer this stuff all the time, and they know that piracy runs rampant on the internet. Now, yes, it is definitely something here in the United States. I don't think there's a person who's watching this video that hasn't encountered, engaged, used, or played around with some form of pirated material, but it's still nowhere near as bad as it is in other countries. But anyway, let's take a look here at what Susan Wojcicki wrote to creators. One of the first things she's written to creators in a while. So, and let's get her stance on it. It says here, Article 13 was written, or as written, threatens to shut down the ability of millions of people, from creators like you to everyday users, to upload content from platforms like YouTube. And it threatens to block users in the EU from viewing content that is already live on the channels of creators everywhere. This includes YouTube's incredible video library of educational content, such as language classes, physics tutorials, and other how-tos. This legislation poses a threat to both you and your livelihood and your ability to share your voice with the world. And if implemented as proposed, Article 13 threatens hundreds of thousands of jobs, European creators, businesses, artists, and everyone they employ. The proposal would force platforms like YouTube to allow only content from a small number of large companies. It would be too risky for platforms to host content from smaller original content creators, because the platforms would now be directly liable for that content. We realize the importance of all rights holders and being fairly compensated, which is why we built the Content ID and a platform to pay out all types of content owners. But the unintended consequences of Article 13 will put this ecosystem at risk. We are committed to working with the industry to find a better way. This language could be finalized by the end of the year, so it's important to speak up now. Please take a moment to learn more about how it could affect your channel and take action immediately. Tell the world through social media, #SaveYourInternet, and your channel why the creator economy is important and how this legislation will impact you. Which I believe in this particular case are all valid, succinct points. Now, like I said, I live here in the United States, the best country, let's just be fair. I live here in the United States, where I won't have to worry about this for right now. But we've seen certain things like this, like SOPA and TIPA, come around that were threatening very, very, very similar things. And it all boils down predominantly to copyright. Now, there was a passage in there saying that it would be too risky for platforms to host content from smaller original content creators because the platforms would now be directly liable for the content that gets uploaded. We have that here in the US called the Internet Safe Harbor Act, which was something imposed by Bill Clinton back in the mid to late 90s. That was all about protecting websites from the content that is uploaded by individuals. YouTube does take a very hands-off approach to the type of content that is uploaded. And they are right to say that they would be held under these new laws to something that is far stricter than what we have right now. This is up to you guys in the UK or in the EU to try to save your internet. All I can do is do my very best to put a spotlight on it. But if you want my honest opinion, and when it comes to YouTubers who are going to be good to talk to about this, hit up PewDiePie. That dude has got a voice. And he also likes to use memes, and memes would be considered illegal under this new particular act. You've also got Count Dankula, another great voice. I don't want to even recommend it, but Paul Joseph Watson. Yeah, he would be good too. He would be good too. And of course, my friend Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, the current rising star in the UKIP political party. Carl of Swindon, savior of the Western culture, once removed now from Donald Trump. Yeah, Sargon, I'm fluffing you up a little bit here, but no, it's true. These are people that you need to talk to if you care about this and you are living in the EU. This is something worth fighting for. The internet is something that should be open and available for everybody. We now live our lives by it. Many of us earn our livings talking on it. You guys watch the type of videos, the type of content that people do, in fact, earn a wage from. And it's up to you to help try to save it. I can only do so much from where I'm at, but I would expect that we'd have a very similar reaction to this particular situation as we did with SOPA many years ago when the internet decided to shut down for 12 hours, like Reddit and Wikipedia and a few other places, to really showcase why this is important. And this is a situation where we absolutely positively need that to be a thing again. We need that to be in action. We need YouTube. We need YouTube to sit there and go, all right, this is something we fervently, wholeheartedly believe in. And so as a result of that, we are going to be shutting down new uploads or shutting down for 12 hours, which would cost them countless millions in revenue. It would cost creators countless millions in revenue. It would cost a lot of people frustration and very bad days at work, because let's face it, a lot of you guys listen while you're at work to get through the day. And for that, I don't blame you. I do the same thing. But it's one way to show a consequence as to why this is important. And if people then feel like they are displaced and they are disrupted, then to them, they then have a more fundamental understanding as to why this is interesting. Now look at last week with YouTube going down for 90 minutes in the US. People lost their damn mind, right? People lost their mind. We need something like this, but organized, orchestrated, focused, in order to save your internet. And if that were the case, if YouTube came out and said, we're going to do this for 12 hours, yes, that would directly impact my revenue, but it doesn't matter to me, right? People like Sargon and people like Dave Cullen, people like PewDiePie, people like Paul Joseph Watson, people like Count Dankula, other people that are out there that do this kind of work that live in the UK and the EU, they want to make sure that they can continue to do this. And that is why they need your support. So, I would say take a look at it, contact your MEP, voice your concern, because that is the only way you can save your internet. Those of us here across the pond, all we can do is cheer you on and drive as much awareness to it as we can. But my predominant audience is not in Europe. Mine is in California and Texas. So I can only go so far. But I hope those of you who hear this, who might have friends over there, you echo the sentiment and you try to save your internet. I have all the faith in the world in you. And I hope you guys succeed. To quote Brody from Mallrats, go forth and wreak havoc. But anyway, leave your thoughts below. I do want to hear them. If you guys made it this far, type in Article 13 into the chat so I know. And be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and check back often for more content from me. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been Stranger Days. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.